I did do and say horrible, regrettable things throughout my relationship, Heard said. I behaved in a horrible, almost unrecognizable to myself way. I have so much regret. She added that she freely and openly and voluntarily talked about what she did. I talked about the horrible language. I talked about being pushed to the extent where I didn't even know the difference between right and wrong. She continued, I'll always continue to feel like I was a part of this, like I was the other half of this relationship, because I was. And it was ugly, and it could be very beautiful, but was very, very toxic. We were awful to each other, and I made a lot of mistakes, but I've always told the truth. Depp sued Heard for defamation over a 2018 op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post, in which she described herself as a survivor of domestic abuse, though she never referred specifically to Depp. Depp's attorneys argued his career was heavily impacted by that op-ed. The actor denied any allegations of abuse and suggested that Heard was the abuser. Heard countersued. A jury sided with Depp on the defamation front and awarded the actor more than $10 million. Heard won just one of her 3 claims from her countersuit. Heard believes that there were various obstacles stacked against her during the trial. She tells Savannah Guthrie, one involved in the UK trial in which Depp sued the Sun newspaper. He accused the publication of libel after an article referred to him as a wife beater, though he lost that argument. Heard feels that there were crucial pieces of evidence that factored into that trial that weren't allowed to be introduced in her defense in this trial. Guthrie posted out that there are different rules in the UK courts versus US courts about what is and isn't admissible at trial. The second element was social media. I think the vast majority of this trial was played out on social media, she said. I think that this trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok, and the jury is not immune to that. The jury was not sequestered, but had been instructed to not research or read about the case during the trial. When asked if she believed the jury members did so anyway, Heard replied, how could they not? I think even the most well-intentioned juror, it would have even been impossible to avoid this. In a separate interview with Guthrie, Depp's lawyers asserted their belief that social media played no role whatsoever in the verdict. More of Heard's interview with Guthrie will air on the Today Show and later on Dateline this Friday. Amber Heard lost her defamation case with Johnny Depp because she didn't come off as credible and lacks her ex-husband's star power, experts told Insider hours after the verdict was announced on Wednesday. Depp took Heard to trial, claiming that she ruined his reputation by insinuating in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed that she had been the victim of domestic violence. Heard countersued and spent several days on the stand describing multiple incidents where she said Depp physically and sexually assaulted her during their relationship. On Wednesday, the jury in the case largely sided with Depp, finding that Heard defamed Depp on all 3 statements that she was sued over, and awarded Depp a total of $15 million in damages. The jury also found that Depp defamed Heard, but only on 1 of 3 statements that she sued him over, and awarded Heard just $2 million in damages. Following the verdict, Insider spoke to 2 legal experts who broke down where they thought Heard's case went wrong. Niyama Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, told Insider that he felt that Heard had a credibility problem. She lost because she lied and she exaggerated in a case that was all about likability and credibility, Rahmani said. Depp was the much more likable and credible witness. The jurors loved him and the public loved him, everyone on social media loved him. And now Amber Heard is one of the most despised women in America. Instead of being the face of the Me Too movement, she's the face of a false accusation. Rahmani said that Heard appeared to lie about the things that she didn't need to lie about, and that cost her credibility in the end. He specifically referenced how Heard maintained that she never leaked the video of one of her arguments with Depp to TMZ, or tipped off the paparazzi that she would be appearing in court with a bruised face to take out a restraining order against Depp. Rahmani said that it was also hard to believe Heard's side of the story on why she never fulfilled her pledge to donate her divorce settlement from Depp to charity. The picture of Heard's injuries also didn't line up with her graphic descriptions of Depp's alleged beatings, Rahmani said. She told jurors that she thought Depp was going to kill her. Heard told the jurors that Depp kicked her so many times that she lost count. She's talking about an attempted murder or felony assault, and the pictures, at best, support misdemeanor battery, Rahmani said. When someone's lying and exaggerating, jurors can disregard their testimony entirely, and they did, and they punish her, Rahmani added. David Ring, a partner at the Los Angeles-based law firm Taylor & Ring, agreed that Heard lost credibility during the trial. Some of the testimony just was not credible. It seemed over-exaggerated and overdone, he said. But Ring also said that the case may have come down to who had the bigger star power, and it was clear that Depp won in that department. I think Johnny Depp is obviously the biggest star, and I don't say that facetiously. I think star power in a courtroom is incredibly important, Ring said. I think that stars like that win the vast majority of the time. And obviously, Johnny Depp is a charismatic guy. The jury overlooked all his flaws, the really horrible behavior. They set all that aside and said that she defamed him and awarded him a lot of money. I just don't think that she was as likable as Johnny Depp, Ring added. I'm not going out on a limb saying that either. The jury had to pick one or the other, and they went for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp won in the court of public opinion, he won in the courtroom, and he was gonna win going forward with this. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.